Hunter x Hunter undoubtedly has one of the most unique and complex power systems in all of anime. This power system is known as Nin, and there are a lot of Nin users introduced throughout the whole entire series. 125 to be exact. Actually, give or take a few, I don't know if I've counted right. But regardless, Hunter x Hunter having over 100 different Nin users means that there are over 100 different Nin abilities that are all unique and specific to the Nin user. And among this mass number of Nin abilities, at least a few are bound to be weird, stupid, and just overall useless. But before we get into discussing these weird Nin abilities, we first need to understand why Nin abilities are so unique and specific to the Nin user. At a very basic level, there are 6 different types of Nin affinities that can be used to create a Nin ability. These Nin affinities being manipulation, emission, enhancement, transmutation, conjuration, and specialists. Yeah, it's 6. Just about every person born into the Hunter x Hunter universe is born with a proficiency for at least one of these types of Nin usages. And after learning one's Nin affinity, a Nin user can practice applying their aura in a way that suits their own personality. This eventually leads to a Nin user creating a new Nin ability specific to their personality. And there are a lot of weird people in Hunter x Hunter, and Nin abilities being based on personality and emotions means that there's a lot of weird Nin abilities throughout the whole entire series. And the first of these weird abilities that I want to talk about is Basho's Great Haiku ability, which basically gives him the power to make anything he writes into reality. Basho was a part of Kurapika's crew in the York New City arc, where they guarded the Nordstrom family. He's also made a semi-recent appearance in the Secession War arc in the manga. But what makes Basho stand out among the other guards in the York New City arc is his weird Nin ability. Basho's Great Haiku ability activates whenever he writes a haiku on a slip of paper. And according to him, whatever he writes becomes reality. The quality of the poem also dictates how powerful whatever he's created is. So, the better the poem, the better whatever he just made a reality is. His ability is just basically a trash version of Creation of All Things Jutsu from Naruto. The nature of the Nin ability hasn't been officially stated, but I'm sure we can be more than confident that it's conjuration. I mean, he's literally creating things. Basho has only been shown using this ability twice, and both times he created fire from his haiku. The limit of what Basho can turn to reality is really unknown, and theoretically with a good enough poem, Basho could create anything, or not. But we won't really know until more gets shown of this ability, and hopefully in the upcoming manga chapters we get to see it used a couple more times. The next Nin ability I want to talk about is Knuckle's Hakuware, also known as Bankruptcy Chapter 7. Knuckle is one of the most skilled enhancers introduced into the series, and he's also very proficient in manipulation and emission. In fact, Knuckle is so skilled in these Nin affinities that they play a major role in his Nin ability. The first part of Knuckle's Nin ability emits an indestructible mascot called the Armatizing Power Redirector, also known as APR for short or Pot Clean. This mascot then attaches itself to Knuckle's opponent after he lands a hit. APR constantly lends Knuckle's aura to whoever it's attached to and has a counter on his forehead to display how much aura it's lent. As long as APR is attached to an opponent, every hit the opponent lands on Knuckle returns aura to Knuckle, lowering the counter. And any blow that Knuckle lands on his opponent lends more aura to them, higher the counter. These blows don't do anything to Knuckle or his opponent, but the stronger the blow, the more aura that is transferred. The interest rate on APR is 10% of the borrowed aura, accrued every 10 seconds while an opponent is within 50 meters of Knuckle. As the amount of interest increases, APR also grows in size. Bankruptcy causes APR to turn into IRS, Individual Rin Suppressor, also known as Teratian. This is a demon-like figure that follows the debtor for 30 days, forcing them into a state of Zetsu. It's also important to note that Hakuware can be placed on multiple targets at once, and placing Hakuware on a target allows Knuckle to track a general location of a target. This Nin ability is way too complicated, but still bodied going. Up next, I want to talk about more of a goofy and pointless ability, that being the Nin abilities of Guido. I know you guys remember this guy. The guy from Heaven's Arena, 200th floor, bodied going, got bodied by Killua. Guido's Nin affinity is enhancement, and that can definitely be shown in his Nin abilities, of which he has 3. The first of these Nin abilities is Battle Waltz or Combat Dance. This is a very simple enhancement and manipulation ability that basically involves Guido throwing down a bunch of his tops and they just attack his opponent from any side. He can't give the tops anything but simple instructions, but he can control up to 50 at a time, and they can do some serious damage. Just one hit from these tops was able to break Gon's arm. Guido's next ability is a pure enhancement ability called Tornado Top. Guido states that this is his most powerful attack, and it basically just involves him spinning really fast. That's all it is. He's a top, spinning fast. Guido's final ability is called Shotgun Blues, another manipulation and enhancement technique. This ability is used alongside Tornado Top and is just like Battle Waltz, except for that the tops that Guido throws in this ability home in directly on the enemy, unlike the tops in Battle Waltz. The next weird Nin ability I want to talk about is Palm's Wink Blue. Palm is identified as an enhancer in the series, but the ability Palm Blue has an unspecified Nin type and most likely is a specialist ability. Palm gained the ability Wink Blue after being turned into this chimera ant fish thing, whatever this is. This nin ability replaced and upgraded her old nin ability, Merman Clairvoyance. And Wink Blue's pretty broken. It basically allows Palm to see the last 3 people that she saw with her right eye just by closing it. Wherever they are, whatever they're doing, she can see them. When Palm looks at another person with her right eye, the oldest target is displaced and the newest one is added. This ability even allowed Palm to keep track of Shiapoof and his full body sized clones. Yeah, this ability is just kinda broken. The next nin ability I want to go over is one of my favorites, and it's only been shown in manga as of now. This is the ability of the second prince of the Kakin Empire, Prince Camilla, and the ability is called Cat's Name, or the cat that's lived a million lives. This ability is just wild. Let me explain. This is a counteractive nin ability with an unknown type that activates after Prince Camilla's death, and postmortem nin is insanely strong. After Camilla is killed, a huge cat-like nin beast appears behind the killer, grasping them into its paws and squishing them, extracting their life force. This destroys the killer's body, and the life force that the nin beast gets is transferred into the tip of its tail, which then turns white and starts to glow. The cat-like nin beast proceeds to directly pour this life energy into Prince Camilla's mouth. This heals Camilla completely of her injuries and brings her back to life. This ability uses the power of postmortem nin to make Camilla basically unkillable. A major downside to this nin ability is that it doesn't negate the damage that Camilla takes before she is killed, so it's pretty painful. And should Prince Camilla not be attacked directly, it's kind of useless. Camilla may be able to use this ability on multiple targets at once, shown whenever she pushed multiple guards to shoot her at once. It is also unclear if Prince Camilla has to be killed in a state of Zetsu for this ability to activate. Either way, this is one of the weirdest abilities in Hunter x Hunter, and I hope to see it more in the manga. I want to end this video by talking about one of my favorite abilities in all of anime, let alone Hunter x Hunter. As goofy as this may sound, I'm talking about Owl's nin ability, the Fun Fun Cloth. I love this guy. Just look at him. Owl was barely a part of the show, but he was just way too cool. The Fun Fun Cloth is a cloth conjured by Owl that shrinks anything that ends up inside of it. It can shrink just about anything, whether that be a car, valuable items, or even people. The size of the fabric can change according to Owl's will, and the fabric of the cloth is extremely durable, being able to shrink a car in motion. Owl can bring an item back to its original size just by uncovering it. Crollo even ended up stealing this nin ability, using it in the York New City arc, and the fact that Crollo can use the ability means that Owl's still alive, so that's a win. And that's all of the abilities I'm going to be talking about in this video. There's so many more weird and unique nin abilities I could talk about, but I didn't want this video to be too long. But if you guys want to see a part 2, I'd love to make one. Please let me know what you thought of this video. A like, a subscribe would be much appreciated, but even watching this video is more than enough. And please drop any weird nin abilities that I missed in the comments. Bye.